I have something to do. At least I can pray for DRC Congo. At least I can stand and say it is not right for one country to move from their own country to go to fight another country for benefit of material things.
African peacekeeping convoy patrols the road between Sake and Goma in the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo. It's part of a South African regional mission supporting Congolese soldiers to protect the North Kivu capital Goma from advancing M23 rebels. Thousands of people have been forced to leave villages around Sake during heavy fighting.
We saw soldiers running away from their positions as fighting erupted between them and the rebels. That's why we left. The fighting was too intense in the city.
The situation in Sake is very bad, with heavy fighting between soldiers and M23 rebels. They have attacked with heavy guns and bombs fell on the city. This is why we are leaving for Goma.
Government soldiers and UN peacekeepers have been struggling to contain M23 rebels since late 2021, when the armed group relaunched its rebellion. The United Nations backs government accusations that Rwanda is supporting the fighters, but Rwanda denies this.
As you know, the situation on the ground is very worrying and alarming. It raises the risk of a regional explosion, or at any rate of a very strong intensification, with a regional characteristic or an increased regional component, with the involvement of different countries in the region to a greater extent.
President Felix Tshisekedi promised to deal with the violence in eastern Congo during his re-election campaign.
Mimi nakumbuka mashamba zangu, nakumbuka nyumba yangu, nakumbuka nilikuwa sishinde njala, watoto wangu walikuwa wanashinda hivyo nakula bidai, kila kitu kiko kunyumba na msuru hata kosa, lakini leo hii tunashiriki maisha ya makundi. Njoo kwa maana mtu anakumbuka vya mingi vya kutoka.
Shalom, shalom, and shalom. How are you doing, guys? I believe each one of you is okay and you are prospering in a different way. As we come together for today for prayer, remember last time when I was here, Wednesday, I promised you that actually what we are going to concentrate on will be able to pray for DRC. And for me, as I decided to take this journey for praying for DRC Congo, especially in the east of Congo, I just want to decide to give you briefly information concerning the country we are going to pray for, and I will use different social media of people think the people are using to know more detail about. Then also later I'll give you my mindset concerning what is happening in DRC Congo, and I'm gonna encourage each one of you to stand with us in prayer. And you know, I don't take time without action. Guess what? Here we go. We're gonna check on the screen. And I believe it will help you and I to see really what is happening. Let's do this. Who is behind what is behind? Who is behind what is happening?
South African deployment. South African deployment of soldiers to quality.
Who is behind what is really happening in DRC Congo? In this video, they are showing us the people, especially army from South Africa, coming to DRC to give or to try to give peace that country. And they are saying that actually there is 2,900 or above those army who are there for just peacekeeping. And in that small video, I believe you can see how many people who are now free from the country to go in a place even they don't know where they are heading. It's the people who was having business, are the people who was having families, are the people who was having the location where they came from. And now you can see all of them holding mattress and going in different area. Even themselves, if you ask them where are you heading, they can't explain. I want to emphasize saying that these people need our prayer. We are still going.
The people of the village of Mukondi bury the bodies of dozens of children, women and men killed in an attack by an armed group. It's not the first time they've had to do this. It was evening around 7 o'clock. I heard noises and children starting to flee suddenly. The rebels were attacking in the direction of our health centre. There was shouting. The children shouted, "The ADF rebels are here." The army says the ADF, or Allied Democratic Forces, is responsible. It's widely blamed for killing thousands of civilians in Ituri province over the last decade.
As you see in Mukondi, it's always the same ADF, which always has bad intentions towards the Congolese, so they showed up here in the village of Mukondi. We lost many of our brothers.
2 years ago, the government declared a state of siege here, a form of martial law. It said it would enable a crackdown on the armed groups, but the attacks have only become more frequent and more bloody.
Here, 3 or 4 days don't go by without us reporting deaths, the result of barbarity from ADF terrorists. That is why, once again, we repeat, we need considerable military force to come that can contribute to the restoration of peace.
The ADF originally came from neighbouring Uganda in the 1990s. The armies of both Uganda and Congo have pledged to defeat them. But rights groups say the military operations haven't helped and the violence against civilians is growing worse. Malcolm Webb, Al Jazeera.
I was asking, who is behind all this which is happening in DRC Congo right now? And I believe, as we are thinking about having time and session of prayer, each one of you can be able to see what problem which is in DRC. I will ask this and conclude saying that DRC Congo need the believer of Jesus Christ to pray for them. The innocent people, the citizen of Congo, the leadership of Congo, they need your prayer. Sometime back, I was keep telling people that the enemy of Africa actually are African themselves. And this small video we have watching at Al Jazeera, at New Times, and different social media, especially if you want to get more detail about the place where you can get this information. Just come on this YouTube channel and watch what is happening, and I tell you, it is trouble. And you and I, we are just quiet. I believe as time keeps going, our generation to come, they will ask themselves, what our people done concerning this? I know my great-grandchildren will ask this question. Where was my grandparent? Where was my great-grandfather when all this was happening? I strongly believe I'm not called to fight. I'm not a politician. But I have something to do. At least I can pray for DRC Congo.
1 week, Congo has captured more than 60 POWs, that is prisoners of war, and these are fighters in the M23 rebel groups. And some of these prisoners or these POWs caught the attention of the FRDC commanders, as these prisoners were wearing a uniform that is very unique, synonymous and similar to the Rwandan Defense Force uniforms. And during interrogation on camera, one of these prisoners admitted to being a Rwandan serving in the Rwandan Defense Force, and that they were deployed to Congo 2 days before he was caught.
Ndambaje Buba urugo ni mu Rwanda, avukiye ahantu bita Kayonza, mfite imyaka 22, ninjiye mu gisirikare cy'u Rwanda 2022.
So, what other evidence do you need to accept that Rwanda is fighting in Congo? So, Rwanda has actually declared a war on Congo, and they are sending their troops to Congo on rotation. Troops are going there for a month and then coming back and being replaced by others. That is what is happening. And people have been asking, how can Congo not be able to deal with rebels? These are not rebels. M23 are Rwandan troops. This is just one of the evidence. Last week, again, a top-ranking military commander from the Rwandan army was killed together with his escorts in a region called Katsiru in Ruchuru district of Congo, that is North Kivu. He was killed by this group of Wazalendo, and we have evidence to show that. We even have videos of his funeral or burial in Rwanda. So this is what is happening. The young man in that video said he's from Kayonza, which is a district in Kagera province, which is the farthest easternmost province in Rwanda. Kagera, it borders Tanzania. The young man comes from Kayonza, which is a town there, and he's in Congo. What is a young man doing 500 kilometers from his homeland, from his own village? So you understand what is happening. Those Rwandan intelligent ran social media accounts and the ones who come to comment on my videos, where are you to now come and refute this evidence? Because we know you. You are paid to keep blogging and exactly the truth, trying to lie to the world. So this is the one of the evidence. We showed you last week another evidence that Rwanda is supplying service to air missile platforms to these Rwandan troops in Congo. These are Rwandan troops. I will not be using the word M23. I'm going to be calling them Rwandan troops in Congo because that is what they are. Hello, so the real story is that Uganda and Rwanda have stepped up the fight in the eastern part of Congo. So as of today morning, there have been reports that certain armored vehicles were basically unleashed from Ruchuru, meaning they entered Congo from Ugandan side, and those vehicles have been identified by the United Nations peacekeepers as Rwandan Defense Force vehicle. Some of them have this surface-to-air missile. So the drone that was sent there by the United Nations peacekeepers, also known as MONUSCO, was shot at using a surface-to-air missile fired from one of these armored vehicles that are supposed to be Rwandan. Now, a lot of people start saying that is not true, but Rwanda is the only country in that region that have this type of vehicles. They are from China. They're Chinese-made, six-wheeler armored vehicles. Uganda doesn't have those ones, and Congo definitely doesn't have those ones. So they are from Rwanda, and this vehicle was spotted jets that bombed them last week on Wednesday. And last week on Wednesday, we witnessed the attempted, attack or attempted capture of the town of Sake by M23 rebels, which was repulsed. And one of the equipment or systems that helped to repulse these rebels back was the bombing from the Skoi Su-25. So today the answer to that is that Rwanda has given several of their surface-to-air missiles to try to shoot down these jets. That is the latest news, and I'm going to show you in detail what I'm talking about. But before I do that, I want to back up my claim from a report from the UN. So come with me as I show you what I'm talking about. So as I was telling you, according to a report from the UN, and that is published on this website here, is that the M23 rebels or the rebellion in Congo, according to the UN, is that the Rwandan army is using surface-to-air missiles. So the stories everywhere, even the AFP were the first one to say, to talk about this report. And according to the AFP, I'm going to read, according to the AFP, they're saying Rwanda army is using the surface-to-air missile system in Eastern Congo. And that was 14 hours ago, according to the report.
As time keeps going, our generation to come, they will ask themselves, what our people done concerning this? I know my great-grandchildren will ask this question. Where was my grandparent? Where was my great-grandfather when all this was happening? I strongly believe I'm not called to fight. I'm not a politician. But I have something to do. At least I can pray for DRC Congo. At least I can stand and say, it is not right for one country to move from their own country to go to fight another country for benefit of material things. It is no longer for Rwanda government to go to fight Congo for benefit for get mineral and shed blood of thousands and millions of innocent people and cause thousands and millions of people to be refugees. It is wrong, it is wicked in my generation. At least my great children, they will know I was not a party of what was happening. I was not quiet about it. As I pray, I will pray for the people who are serving a different government, who are quiet about this, who are looking innocent citizens being killed, and they say nothing, and they do nothing. Because I understand I have assignment. I have assignment to pray for my country. I have assignment to stand for my continent. I believe that now it is clear that it is not about what people they are saying. It is about what is happening. It is about what is happening. And we can no longer be able to be quiet about it again. As I said, go at Al Jazeera, go to New Times. You can check this young person who is doing something called African Inside on YouTube channel. And you can be able to get more detail about what is happening in Congo. Okay, now how can we pray about Congo? We can pray that people, they will not keep dying. Innocent people, they are not going to keep dying for no need. We are going to shout up and say that we are standing on 2 feet, refusing our people to end up be in refugee lifestyle where they came from. I believe we will have a long time and we will see why these people, they have these strong projects and how this project has been supported. And then we'll keep praying. Shall we be quiet as a believer and just watch what is happening? Shall we be quiet and just let things happen the way it is? No. We have assignment to pray. Pray for the peace to reign in DRC Congo.